Welcome back to Immortal Hulk right here at Comicstorian, your home for narrated comic books brought to you by me, Benny. Today we're going to be continuing the Immortal Hulk storyline, and let me catch you up briefly. The Hulk has come back from the dead and discovered that he can't die. And through various things that happened within our storyline, he discovered that there is a green door that opens up into a form of hell. And down below in hell, there is the One Below All, supposedly the most powerful being in the entire Marvel Universe. He's also discovered that Brian Banner, his father, is also down there, and he's kind of orchestrating what's going on. Our new Immortal Hulk appears to be a lot smarter than all the other Hulks, but he can only come out at night. And when we last left off, Savage Hulk, which is the more childlike Hulk that a lot of us know of, took control of the Hulk and was fighting against our enemies. But Betty, who's transformed into Harpy, a gamma-radiated version of herself that looks like a harpy, flew down and dug her claws into the Hulk's chest, beginning to eat his heart, seemingly killing him. It's a lot to recap, but the whole playlist is down below, so make sure you check that out. And if you enjoy this and want more Hulk, please consider hitting that like button. Now let's get into the story. In the far below, Brian Banner tells Bruce, "Welcome home, son." Bruce begins to look around asking, "This place, have I ever really left?" Brian tells him, "Well, in one sense, yes. In one sense, no. You have not since the bomb killed you the first time, but in another, you're always coming and going. You and the others go in and out of the green door. We've had conversations like this many times before, but you wouldn't remember." Bruce grabs Brian by the shirt, shouting that he manipulated everyone around him so that he could split him off of the Hulk to bind him to some cosmic Satan. Brian begins to laugh, telling him, "The One Below All. We didn't come to them. They had to open up the green door from your side. They came to us. And sometimes that's how you show love, by putting in a little effort." Bruce lets go, asking, "Wait, what others?" And Brian tells him, "Oh, you know, the delinquent, the quack, the old goat, the copycat, your wife." Bruce stumbles back and Brian goes on telling him, "It's true. Better pass through here. All of them. This is their home. This is where they belong. This is where Gamma is from. One form of it anyway, the hidden form. Not a particle, not a wave. An emanation of the divine, give or take." Bruce begins to shout, "No, gamma radiation is a measurable scientific phenomenon." Brian stops him. "It's many things, above sure. Below it's a magic spell. Everything is more than one thing, Bruce. Are you a man yearning to escape hell? Or are you a monster wanting to bring it to Earth? Can't you, of all the people, see the middle ground?" Bruce snaps at him. "I can't think of anyone else that deserves to be in this hell alone." And Brian smiles. "Who said I was alone?" Brian motions back and Bruce sees a woman. His mother. He stops, stunned. "Is that?" And Brian tells him, "Yes. She visits me sometimes, not long enough." Bruce begins to cry, calling out for his mother, and Brian tells him, "Stop embarrassing yourself." As Bruce's mother begins to walk away, he screams, crying for her to stop, to look at him, please. And back above, the Hulk begins to open up his eyes, stating, "Okay, I got you, kid. I've always got you." As the Immortal Hulk punches the creature, he tells them, "We need to be careful, though. This thing's got stomach acid that can burn our skin." And Betty asks, "Stomach acid? No, stomach. No, acid." She begins to bury her talons into the creature's torso, ripping out its stomach. Betty looks up and stares for a moment. "Don't hurt me again." And Hulk tells her, "Deal." And when he looks over at Jackie, he asks, "What the hell are you doing here?" Jackie tries to put the words together and asks, "But how? Betty took out your heart and ate it." And Hulk tells her, "Sure, hard reset. Killing me jumpstarts the healing. Welcome to my world. Now answer the question." Jackie goes on stating that she supposes they should get a story from Mrs. Banner on what happened back in California. Well, she found one. As Jackie goes on, Hulk notices some lights off in the distance, and he tells Jackie, "Down." But before she can ask what he's talking about, a giant aircraft swoops by, firing down on Hulk, Betty, and the creature. Hulk turns around, ready to stop the creature. But Betty flies in, grabbing it, telling Hulk to see to the human. "Jones belongs to me, As Betty flies up, she digs the talon into the creature's neck and begins to drag it down, opening his chest up even more. She then releases the creature, letting it crash down onto the flying gunship. With a loud boom, it falls, and just before it hits the ground, the Hulk smiles, stating, "Ha! Catch!" He lands, punching the mangled ship into the second ship, causing the both of them to explode in a fiery blaze. Jackie walks up, stating that she heard Amadeus Cho had a theory that Bruce was always subconsciously working to stop him from killing anyone. And Hulk tells her, "Yeah, I heard that. Little screwy, but it made sense. For the other Hulks at least. Now where's Jones?" Betty flaps her wings, stating, "Here." And Hulk walks over, ripping open the rest of the creature. There's a loud whoosh as the skin is filleted, and the Hulk asks, "What does this do? Guess we'll find out." In the side of the creature, the Hulk pulls out the small, withered body of Rick Jones. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Bruce stands alone in the void when he hears a voice calling out to him, and they ask, "Do you know who we are? Do you know where she is? After everything that led you here, after the Horsemen of War, in your nightmare armor, after everything that's happened, where are you at the end of all things? Jebera or Galachub? The man or the monster? What are you, Bruce Banner of Earth?" The being of light slowly descends, and they ask, "And what will you become?" The next day at Shadow Base Site B, 14 sits in the Redeemer armor going through the last diagnostics when McGowan says that she wants him to know that she does not approve of this. 14 sighs, stating that she doesn't seem to approve of much lately. And McGowan asks if he means the murder of civilians by unleashing the abomination. 14 stops her. "Collateral damage. It's a term we've been using here since the 60s. Surely you've heard of it." McGowan tells him yes. She registered her complaints about that, but this, the translocation, is easily the most dangerous method of instant travel. Unless you are Reed Richards and can calculate the variables in your head, this is a terrible idea. 14 tells her, yes, hence the armor. If I miss the target, I can survive in open space. 14 then steps onto the platform and tells the operators to flip the switch. McGowan calls out to the others, telling them to shut it down. They need to double check, no, triple check before they do this. But the transport process begins, and 14 says that the difference between them, that he chooses not to be owned by random factors. They can rule over chaos. Have faith. Meanwhile, up at the Alpha Flight space station, Carl Creel and his wife Titania sit discussing their plans as to what to do next, when suddenly 14 appears in front of them. Creel gets up asking, "What is?" But before he can finish, a dart is shot into his head and he quickly loses the ability to maintain his shape. Titania jumps up shouting, "What did he do?" But 14 tells her that it was just fentanyl. Her husband might be hard to kill, but he has shown a weakness to drugs in the past. 14 fires 3 more darts, and once Titania finally passes out, he moves forward onto the next. In the next room, Samson tells Walter that they need to be careful with this. There's no telling what can happen if they touch it with their bare hands. Walter tells him that he'll be fine. The Hulk left us behind, so it's their job to figure out what the hell this thing is. It's like a suit of biological armor. A shell. You don't suppose. But before he could finish, Puck is shot in the head with a dart, and then Samson is hit with 3. Walter calls out to Samson, but Samson swings, telling him, "I'm fine, just a little." 14 catches him by the hair, holding his fist up, telling him that he's back in the world of the living. "Oh well, easy come, easy go." 14 then shoots Samson in the head, tossing his body aside. Walter then quickly grabs a rifle, but 14 tells him that he is still at fault for what happened back in Minnesota. Walter says that he can eat this, and the trigger is pulled and the gun misfires. 14 holds up his gun, telling Walter that this is goodbye, and he fires 3 shots into him. After 14 hears no others up in the space station, he radios to Shadow Base, stating that the retrieval of the shell is complete. No human casualties. McGowan asks, "No human casualties? What is that supposed to mean?" And once 14 returns, he gets out of the suit and he takes a look at the shell. He tells the workers handling it to bring it here, and one of them says that Dr. McGowan wouldn't approve. 14 tells him that McGowan can register her complaints and continue her work, as she always does, as she always will. Now bring it here. He extends his hand, and just as the worker tells him not to touch it, the creature lunges forward, pulling 14 into itself. And after a few short moments, 14 sits up, now in control of Abomination. And that is where we're going to conclude today, as Immortal Hulk is a very long ongoing series. There is no like definitive ending to each of these plots. It's like 30-something issues long, and it's all one giant story about the One Below All versus the Hulk versus 14. Now, if you're new to our channel and new to the Hulk, Abomination is like the Hulk's big arch nemesis, which has been turned into a suit that various villains are using right now, and we just discovered one of the greatest villains the Hulk is fighting in this series now has control of the Abomination suit. So what's going to happen next? Well, if you subscribe to the channel and turn on that little bell, you'll get the notifications of it. If you hit that Patreon link down below, you can join us and get early access to our content, and you can also hit like on this channel, all of which will help us out. And if you are just kind of killing time, there's a whole playlist of other Hulk videos, including Planet Hulk, World War Hulk, and Immortal Hulk for you to go through right now. If you guys enjoyed this a lot and hit a lot of likes, I'll start up the Red Hulk storyline in a couple of months. So don't forget, that's something else coming down the pipeline. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time right here.